Now, the shotgun start in golf is full of mathematics. There's a lot of setup work that we have to do in order to make a tournament work. So I'm going to demonstrate to you just exactly how we do a shotgun start here.
And here we go.
Hey. All right. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Greetings and welcome to a Friday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is October 3rd. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing great. It's Victory Friday, and I gotta
What's the
say,
victory? What are we celebrating? What victory?
the Cubs.
Oh, there you go. Congrats to your Cubbies.
I'm
That's
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry. I apologize for your Guardians.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. We made it September to remember. The team stinks, but it was great.
So bad.
It was great. I mean, happy for your Cubs. I don't want to get into it. That's going to come across as sour grapes. I don't want to get into it. I'm happy it's Friday. But we talk about the FedEx Cup playoffs. We just played approximately almost the exact same schedule as the team we lost to for 162 games. They're in our division for from April 1st to October 1st. And like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 1 o'clock, 3-game series is the whole deal. We've had a bet, like, I would say this if it was the Tigers beat us by 5 games. Like, they shouldn't have to beat us in a 3-game series either. I had no animosity towards the Tigers. They're a better team, probably. But it's kind of insane when you think about it, how they decided. But congrats to your Cubs. They shouldn't have had to play the Pods either, winning their division.
Well, talk about sour grapes.
What? They're
Padres.
Umpires? They're so pissed about the umpires.
It was a terrible call. How about our guy hitting 2 guys? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like, the game's over.
Yeah.
And he just hits 2 batters with 0-2 counts.
Just wanted to get some drama, some light work in at the end of the game.
I don't want baseball minute to spoil this podcast.
Yeah. Let's not get on baseball, because you know what baseball is not. It's not an engine for good. Golf is an engine for good. As a wise
all I know is golf is
said,
the engine of good.
Wise men once said, I believe it might even be in scripture. I don't even know. Golf is an engine for good. And
Devils and Demons, was it?
Oh no, new levels, new devils.
New
We're
levels,
gonna get to
new
that in a
devils.
minute. But if golf is an engine for good, then a place where you can find a lot of good is Pinehurst. And we have a Pinehurst trip on offer now for Friday golf. You know, we're into good.
Oh, I didn't know we were going into an ad. Baseball minute to ad.
You want to do good things, you go to Pinehurst. You can sign up for our trip. It's available on the events page. You know, just Google Friday 2026 Pinehurst trip, March 26th to 29th, with rounds at the second, Pinehurst number 2, I should say, 4 and 10, as well as the Cradle. Those are the ones you want to hit if you're going to Pinehurst. Looks like it's March 26th to 29th. I was just looking at that.
It's a good time.
Probably
Right
NCAA
before the
tournament.
Masters.
It's a Thursday, so NCAA tournament going on. You play golf. You come in, watch a regional. I think. Am I mistaken?
You know, while we're on Baseball Minute, March 26th is the opening day that Thursday. So it's perfect timing.
Oh, you're already ready for the next Mets season.
Well, we play the Pirates, so hopefully Paul Skeens is not on the Pirates, or else we're starting 0-1. So we'll see what happens.
So yes,
I don't know. What was his record this year? He lost more games than he won.
Andy, we can't hit. That's why we're not in the playoffs. That's why we didn't play the last 2 days.
We can't hit either, and we're in the playoffs.
Oh, lucky you.
And we got the Brewers, our northern suburb. God.
Oh, is that who you? Oh God. Oh.
I'm so nervous. I'm so apprehensive. I did get a nice message from a devoted listener who's a Phillies fan.
Okay.
Who said, just take care of those frauds of I-94.
All right. Well, that's Pinehurst trip, March 26th to 29th. Do some good. Sign up for that. Be part of that engine that's for good, and that's available now. We should note that. All right. Where do we want to go? Well, we're doing this on Friday. Thought we'd dabble with the live show, a Friday afternoon live show. 5 people may be available to hang out, but the podcast will be in your feed here soon as well. Congrats to your Cubbies. I'm happy for you. They were getting a lot of texts from Lotties. The Lottie's challenge was immediately like knocked out of the park.
It's going to bankrupt our pro shop.
People in the greater Chicago area are flocking to Lottie's, and apparently they're sitting at this bar. And they're like, Alba, wait, are you here to turn on the LPGA too? I mean, think about it. Apparently there was Yankees Red Sox primetime game, and they're requesting people are requesting some like little unknown LPGA event halfway around the world to be played at the Chicago bar. Pretty good. PJ showing the graphic now. I'm broadcasting from Lottie's in Chicago, watching tape delayed coverage of the Latte Championship. A 10-minute walk. I knew I had to take the opportunity. I figured Wednesday evening would be the best. So that was another person at the bar was like, hey, you're here to watch the LPGA. Quote, you also come to turn on the golf channel.
I guess I don't know if I've ever explained what Lottie's is on this podcast.
Yeah,
it's a bar that I used to frequent regularly in my like late 20s. So if that gives you an idea of what it is,
yeah,
it was a great place to go. You'd go to Lottie's like if you were you're in your 20s, your nightlife like calendar. It was kind of like a 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. bar,
right?
If that makes sense. It was where you ended your night.
Yeah,
maybe not ended your night. It could have been the precursor before you walk down the street to the slippery slope. And that's where your night really derailed. But Lottie's this is unbelievable.
It's now an LPGA hotspot this week.
I'd love to know what's going through the bartender's head as they're changing the channel to the golf channel.
Apparently the one chap who went, his wife or significant other confirms like, why are you at Lottie's on a Wednesday? He's like, it's just a long story. I don't know if I can explain it. So yes, we've got Lottie's Minute is off and running.
I got a message from somebody that's coming to our event on Monday, which is in Chicago. And he was like, should we go to Lottie's after the event? It'll be presumably for a Cubs playoff game.
Yeah. No,
Monday night watch party at Lottie's. Which I'll be coming in on a nice 11 p.m. departure, 5:15 a.m. arrival to Chicago. I don't know if I'll be able to make it that long.
Oh man. Yeah, that's a great.
Maybe the worst flight in the world is that flight.
How long is the actual airtime? 4 hours?
It depends on the jet stream, but it could be as short as like 3.5 hours.
Oh, that's tough. That's a tough scene.
Like I know it's gonna land at 4:45 in the morning, Central Time.
Oh, that's a tough scene. What else is a tough scene is Don Rhea's mentions these days. It's been tough for Rhea. Their debate. This has become a mainstream debate. I half expected to turn on First Take this morning, and they would be debating whether Don Rhea had to resign based on what was going on. We've made this funny Photoshop. Absolutely not true. I don't think Mad Dog and Stephen A. We're talking about Don Rhea this morning.
Golf guy Windy. He might have some Don takes.
My in-laws asked me about this morning, and I said,
"Your in-laws."
This is the story that is never going to die.
I'm ready for it to die. I'm ready for it to die. If I must be honest, I think the Europeans are propagating this at this point. The European media, like, they're trying to cancel Don Rhea. They're trying to you can't cancel someone for being an idiot. Like, you can't. Like, you cancel someone for doing idiotic things and offensive things, but for just being a plain old idiot, you can't cancel them. And like what he said to the interview in Northern Ireland about like, oh, I don't know, I didn't hear that, I didn't think it was that bad as him in Rome. Like, not good, but you can't make him resign. That's not fine. Make him resign for any other number of reasons, but that's not it. You can't cancel someone, prima facie idiocy just on his face, just for being an idiot.
I mean,
he's fine. Don't get him out. He's fine.
Just a little bit.
the story arc of Don Ray.
It's so stupid. He's from the crosshairs.
From where we were at the PGA when this man came into our lives to the senior PGA with the monologue and us being like, I can't wait to see what Don Ray does at the Ryder Cup. We got notes of we got just some murmurs about him at the one of the Ryder Cup dinners before the event. He gave apparently like a long speech. This was like with the players and their wives. Maybe it was at the gala. I was told it was quote real Shooter McGavin vibes. But we also heard that he had been muzzled.
Yeah, I mean,
sure enough, Sunday morning, he finds a camera, and maybe the worst camera he could have found. Really, like any
BBC.
Yeah, just he probably was like, this is just this is a European, journalist. It's not going to find its way in America, and maybe that's why they let him do it. But now, I mean, I got a message from someone close to me. There's a real issue. There's a lot of disgruntled PGA members ahead of this for a number of things that the PGA has done to the membership in recent years.
Yes.
There's like a huge undertone, like undercurrent. Yeah, like there's like real problems.
Yeah.
In the PGA. I woke up to a long text message from somebody I care deeply about that was just unloading about Don Rea. And apparently inside the PGA, the knives are like fully out.
Well.
And then Brian Windhorst is talking about Don Rea.
No, he didn't.
Wait, was that a fake graph?
Yes. Yes, I told him to Photoshop it. Windhorst is not talking about Don Rea. I thought he maybe could have tweeted about it. No. I'm sorry.
I got distracted at that.
You were.
When you
I could tell you were distracted.
I mean, it's a testament. You think Doggy's on ESPN right now talking about how Don Ray's got to go? He's doing his own thing. Come on.
I would surprise me at this point.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, the Euro, like, I'm sorry. He must resign. Like, get the hell out of here. Just because, like, he didn't acknowledge the fans were as bad as they were. Like, leave Don alone. I'm defending Don. I'm zagging the other way. These people are out for blood. Like, he should resign for any number of reasons, but this is not one of them. He's hunkering down now. And when the knives are out, he apparently interacts with, like, every comment on his LinkedIn. I guess maybe I shouldn't say that.
I almost went on to LinkedIn and commented.
He posted, I don't know, I've lost track of time, Wednesday night at this point. Couple thoughts. This is my profile, not the PGA's. That being said, thank you to all that have reached out to me as a friend and golf industry leader.
Hold on a second.
Self-appointed golf industry leader.
Could I ask you a question?
What? What's
my personal opinion on it? There is no personal opinion. I'm the president of the PGA of America, right? I've got 30.
This is a personal opinion.
It's not my profile. This is my profile, not the PGA's. I'm personally taking some criticism right now, and that comes with the role. And just like when I was an umpire, I expect it. Like he's blowing calls behind the plate with the Padres. However, to the students and PGA members that follow me, know this. I am not bothered. I know who I ultimately serve. When I wrote this sermon 3 years ago, I meant it, and today I'm living it. The truth is still the truth. New level, new devil. I don't know what that means. I don't know why we're bringing sermons and God into it. It feels like we're one step away from like a Charlie Kirk reference. I don't know what does that mean. So this just further inflamed. By the way, when PJ played that clip, what's my personal opinion? 31,000. He apparently, like all week at the Ryder Cup, referred to representing the 33,000.
It grew.
changed.
It grew every time he got in front of a microphone. On that NBC segment with Terry, it went from 31 to 32 to 33 in like 90 seconds.
Which is just garbage accounting. So we've got a bunch of funny messages. Are you like, do you mean to tell me 2,000 people signed up in the 4 months since he held his press conference at Quail Hollow?
Maybe there was a big backlog of people that hadn't passed the PAT that got through, that shot their 82 or whatever they had to shoot.
New level, new devil is just a phrase of utter insanity that we will take and continue to use probably on this podcast. He just needs to be quiet because every time he opens his mouth, it restarts the cycle. Now he sent a letter to the membership, this disaffected membership you're referring to. It was forwarded to me by Club Pros like within 90 seconds.
So many,
like right
so
away.
many
Like,
of
look
these.
at this. I think wanting us to maybe take the knives out and publicly, fillet him. Honestly, I thought the email was fine. I thought it was okay. Maybe we're on the Reyes scale here, and I'm like expecting, new level, new devil stuff, but I thought it was fine. He said, "Look, it was wrong. It was bad. There was good." I honestly didn't think it was that bad. Am I just?
I think my big takeaway was this is the rare instance that he actually wrote this email. It sounded like him.
Yeah. Because he made a birdies and bogeys reference. Like, what were the bogeys? What were the birdies? Like, just, I mean, the PR person's shutting that down right away.
I liked his signature at the bottom. He's got a big signature. It kind of fits him. That's like the thing I looked at was the signature at the bottom was really like, this is a main character signature at the bottom. Like this guy's practiced this signature.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yep. I'm not going to read the letter, but the topic says, let me begin with what we must own. While the competition was spirited, especially the U.S. team's rally on Sunday, some fan behavior clearly crossed the line. It was disrespectful, inappropriate, and not representative of who we are at the PGA of America or PGA Golf America golf professionals. We condemn that behavior unequivocally. What makes our sport great is that we own our bogeys. We certainly own this one. Our CEO, Derek Sprag, has apologized on our behalf to Erica and Rory McIlroy. I would also like to personally apologize to them and all of you. So he doesn't have personal opinions, but he can personally apologize to them and all of you for not representing our association in the best light with some of my comments in the media during the event. He's owning up to it. While it wasn't my intention, some of my comments were seen in a negative light, which reflects poorly on not only myself, but also the PGA of America. And for that, I truly apologize. I think people expected us to say this is dopey and terrible. I thought it was fine. And it's starting the process of healing. And as far as I'm concerned, he should get 10 more years.
I think that we're at the point where Don Ray needs to be protected at all costs. This man is a content machine.
Europe's trying to cancel him. I won't have it.
He has to stick around for the sake of this podcast. Everybody's onto him now, though.
That's the problem. Regarding Sprag, he did a sit down with Brody Miller in the Athletic. Go ahead.
I think the real story here is that Don Ray has been a human shield for Sprag.
Sprag sat down with Brody Miller. Well, Sprag is just, he's sort of like a robot, right? He's just got a few phrases and that's it. And so he sat down with Brody Miller, reacting to some of like things are going to happen. I haven't heard what you're talking about. It happened in Rome on the other side. Rory understands. I don't think Rory understands. That was my favorite. Ray saying, Rory understands. Like, oh yeah, you think that? Okay. Well, if you say so. Sprague said he talked to Rory McIlroy's manager, Sean O'Flaherty. I sent a long email to share with Rory and Erica and just told them we will do better in the future. I'm the CEO now. I don't condone this type of behavior. This is not good for the game of golf. This is not good for the Ryder Cup. It's not good for any professional athletes, and we will do better. Then he just went into disappointment station here. I'm disappointed in fan behavior, disappointed in the first tee and the MC, that it's not who we are. I was just really, really disappointed. So I used the word disappointed in about 3 times in about 10 seconds. He added, it's hard to define what crosses the line, right? You almost have to be there. And when we were getting reports of these incidents, the security, state police, private, or whoever, we were dealing with those as they came up. We threw out a number of people and moved to other places away from the matches if they were heckling certain players of that match. So Sprag is now out there on the record.
You have to be there? Was he not there?
I mean, he was up in the castle, up on the first tee, or in some sort of enclosed hospitality, I would imagine.
It seems like it was a very easy thing to just go walk down and get inside the ropes if you're the president or the CEO of the PGA.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have taken long, especially on Saturday afternoon, to figure out what was going on. I think listen, this story's gotta end.
I'm satisfied. I'm honestly satisfied with this interview and Rhea's letter. Maybe I shouldn't be.
I think at this point, like, the real issue is that you have to be proactive.
Yeah.
In situations like this. And I've never seen an organization be more reactive. Like, there was an issue. Like, they did not do anything of what. There's so many things they could have done in the moment to quell what was going on. And that would have made the ensuing 6 days of news cycle at this point so much easier for them. But they did nothing. And they, in fact, did the opposite of nothing. Don got up and compared what was happening to a youth frickin' soccer game. A youth soccer game.
You know what happens at youth soccer games? They tell girls they need to get on Ozempic. That definitely is what happens at the 9-year-old girls' soccer games I get to. That's what I hear.
Yeah, they throw or drinks get knocked out of hands onto 8-year-old girls at girls' soccer games.
That's what I hear, Don. It extended because Hatton said, they're at the Dunhill. They're playing. So we got live mics. Hatton says, personally, I don't think they were close at all. He was offended when Keegan suggested it was like Rome. I certainly, with what I heard last week, I don't think Rome comes anywhere close to that. I personally don't agree with what they said there. I don't know what else to add to that. I think they are quite far apart, to be honest. Matty Fitz called it offensive. That Rhea's, Northern Ireland, BBC Northern Ireland interview. I saw the interview with the PGA guy. Come on, show some respect to President Don. With the PGA guy discussing about it was the same in Rome. It's pretty offensive to European fans, the fact that he said that, really. I don't want to speak on behalf of everyone, but feel there was a little bit of bitterness when they presented the trophy there and shook their hands. They can't control what comes out of everyone's mouth. There's no doubt about it. Wouldn't say we're looking for an apology, but it's understandable that they would apologize. So, yeah. So it just kept going another 5-6 days. I thought Rhea's letter was fine. The problem you bring up, and you talked about this, I think, on Wednesday, they just need to run their trade association. They just need to take care of their people. They have this incredible fortune that they've fallen almost ass backwards into owning 2 of the 5 elite cash cows in the game. Take the cash from that and run the trade. And stop peacocking in front of the cameras at these, Ryder Cups and Pro PGA, right? I mean, just that is the issue here. And yeah, there's knives out.
They have to just get out. I was having a conversation this week with someone else where they just were talking about the experience as a partner, and it was just not really great.
Yep.
And it's like they got to just fix everything, and maybe fixing everything is getting out of the business of running these tournaments, because I don't know, I would say it's part of this is too, just like the PGA. It's kind of the 4th major for a reason. And It's not branded well. It's run okay. It's run well. But it's the fourth major for a lot of reasons. And at some point you have to look at what the other majors have done to elevate themselves over time and maybe what you've failed to do. And I think a lot of it has to do with the structure. Listen, we should give Don a 10-year term, not a 2-year term, and see what he can do. Let's see him cook.
Let him cook. If you're looking to cook on any given day, elevate your game. You go to goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Sign up, subscribe. We've got shotgun start blends. We've got fried egg blends. We have a promo code, SGS, at checkout. Gets 20% off your entire order. You could order coffee out the wazoo. You still get 20% off when you use the promo code SGS. FE blend is a medium light roast. The shotgun start blend is a medium dark roast. You can get it delivered to you on whatever interval you like. Every week, 2 weeks, monthly, whatever it is, however much coffee you want to rip through. You don't have to think about getting to the store, going to Starbucks. I've been going to Starbucks every now and then. God, it's just insane, the prices. Like, you just check out. You can't go, like, if my kids are with me, I'm not getting out of there for under like $35, $40. It's crazy.
I know. I had the whole FE team, and my Starbucks accounts attached to my personal, and I was like, God, I just keep racking up $30.
It's crazy. I mean, we had a Starbucks near our house in Long Island that opened at 4:30 or something, and then we would leave.
That was a great open time. I got to hand it to him for that.
Well,
is
this a
Starbucks read, or is it a Good Walk read?
We didn't have a coffee maker in our Airbnb, so that we
had
forced
coffee,
into that.
but no coffee maker.
We did have our fried egg blend, but no maker. So if you don't have to think about an early open time or spending $25 for a coffee, go to goodwalkcoffee.com. Use the promo code SGS. Just sign up. 20% off your entire order. You get 10% off if you're a subscriber. So 10% off every time. More Ryder Cup cleanup, but this is substantive, not Fangate. Jim Furyk and Friends, Constellation Energy, whatever, has been a little bonanza for post-mortem stuff. Furyk on the setup. We were told that the greens were going to be 12.5 on the stimp. I think that was the request. We were told that they stimped at that in the morning. Our players, one by one, didn't think they reached that. I didn't have a stimp in my hand to actually confirm it, nor was I allowed to hit a putt as a vice captain. That's a rule. So I can't tell you because I didn't get to hit a putt. I wish I would have, though.
Why does that rule exist? Like, I can't go out in the morning and hit some putts as a vice captain?
I don't know. You're not allowed to do anything. You're not technically supposed to give any advice, which, like, why are they out there?
Yeah.
What are they? They're just giving them a pat on the back? Say, good playing? Like, you see them all out there and they're talking to the guys. Are they not giving advice of any kind? Where's the line there?
What would you say you do here?
Quote, guys had a hard time getting putts to the hole, and it did appear to be a little gluey. I think the request was always there to set the golf course up with less rough, but I think also believing that the greens would be firmer. I know we got some rain midweek, but they were really, really soft when we arrived. So that probably is an issue a little bit. It's not how we were looking at the golf course. I mean,
are they going after the agronomy team?
It feels like it. You know who didn't have a hard time getting putts to the hole? Europe. Like, I don't.
And they all play on the same tour.
Yeah.
The U.S. has this like warped mentality that it's like they're still living in 2004 when the European tour was where the majority, or 1997. Honestly, where the European tour players played on slower greens. All these guys play the same place.
I mean, I read this like we got our ass beat for 2 days just because the greens were 12 and not 12.5. Like, how am I supposed to read this? Like, you got your it feels like you're trying to excuse an ass beating because the greens weren't fast enough by some increment. I don't know. I get it. They got put on the back foot by the setup. They did. But you still got to go play ball.
And the setup's the same for everybody. These are preposterous excuses. Like, ridiculous. The other aspect of this is, you know who went out and played in the rain?
Oh, on Thursday. Yeah.
And you know who it was an optional day? And I don't think I wouldn't put any credence into this.
Yeah.
But you could have gotten a pretty good glimpse of what it was going to be if you played on Thursday and hit a substantial amount of shots.
On Thursday in the rain-ish, misting, rain in the morning, Europe played the whole front nine, the whole team. The U.S., some of them played like that inner loop on the one side of the road. So I guess that would be one, then I don't know what.
15, 17.
Yeah. Some of them did. There's been rumors out there that the U.S. didn't do any reconnaissance or enough reconnaissance. Like you see,
that's preposterous.
I don't think they did a trip ahead of this week, according to Keegan when he spoke at Caves. But they played the course.
Let's not act like this is Augusta National.
Happened. Yeah.
That golf course was the most basic, bland setup. The only thing that you could say they weren't ready for was how soft the greens were. And the only thing you could point to, maybe with like the shred, but like to explain this happening on Friday afternoon, even like these players have adjusted. They're world-class players. Seeing this go across the internet to me was the most preposterous thing. It's a completely unnamed report also.
I know. I got it. Like, is this true? I was like, if it is, it doesn't matter. I don't think it is.
Bethpage Black is not, it's not like trying to solve a long calculus equation. It's just the whole thing was just blasted as far as you can and then hit it up on the green. And then the greens are really basic and make putts. Like there was any professional golfer could have gone out there and had a sound strategy on Bethpage on Friday based off of the way it was set up.
Further cleanup down at Constellation. Steuart Sink has come on the record.
Right.
He apparently went through an interview process to a point that never heard back anything. This is from an Adam Schupak story. I believe Stu, though, spoke to the press at large down at Timuquana. This is Schupak. There's a school of thought that expected Sink to be named captain for Bethpage Black when Tiger decided to pass on the go-around. Sink participated in what he termed a phone interview with U.S. team manager John Wood about 2 months before Keegan Bradley was selected to be the captain in July 2024. Now you have a major champion in Steuart Sink having to jump through hoops for John Wood and do a performative dance with John Wood. It's like we heard about this for like the 18 months. John Wood has this on the straight and narrow. John Wood seems smart, like a good golf mind. But he's like running the Ryder Cup operation now. And then he had some quote as they were getting their ass beat. Like, well, what we're learning now, this week was more of a learning process. And we're going to see the payoff of my role is in 27 and 29 and 33, all the way down the line. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't satisfy me as you're getting your ass kicked. But John Wood's interviewing Steuart Sink.
If he's doing the interviews, then he's just completely like he was nowhere to be seen during the week.
He was after we heard this was some sort of salve on everything.
I will say he was out there giving a lot of fist bumps to Benny Booms on Sunday. It's the only time I saw him all week.
He's following the Hoygaard.
He was in his long sleeves. He's had his Under Armour on. Tons of fist bumps to Benny Booms.
Well, there you go. All right, so he was the assistant captain assigned to Benny Booms' match. Okay. More Sink. I was gutted. I thought I had a pretty good shot at it. It's not a selfish thing. I want the team to be the best team it can be. Thought PGA got themselves into a mess this year because Keegan was one of our top 12 players. Because he was the captain, they prevented him from playing. I don't have any desire designs to think that I'll be on the next team. So we can remove that topic right away. But I'm not that far removed from playing out there every week and all the majors and winning tournaments. He said he thought his interview went well, but he hasn't received one word since then. I never got a call back that said we're going in another direction. All I know in the end of the conversation, it sounded like things look pretty good for you, and I never heard another word. So
honestly, Steuart Sink is like, that's a name you never hear about for Ryder Cup, but would be a good one, as he illuminated. Like,
yeah,
I mean, he won 2 events, 3 or 4 years ago at this point?
Not too long ago.
And he's got a good golf mind too. I think, like, very in the weeds on details.
Yeah.
And it's I just think, I don't know, Steuart Sink, Johnson Wagner was big on Brandt Snedeker. But I do think, like, the baseline of who a captain has to be, do they have like a very good golf mind? Not are they, what it is were they good at golf?
Do they win a major? Are they prominent in some way, in some circle or something? Yeah. That's fair.
And it needs to shift to, it's the same thing that goes on with basketball coaches, right? Often the best NBA coaches are like role players or players that never got to the NBA. Not, the experiments with the high profile coaches are not good. It's just like when LeBron has been GM. He's been a horrible GM.
Oh, right.
He's basically tanked a couple teams.
I do think, like, at the ASCAP level is where you could bring in, it's like where you bring in the gravitas, the experience, whatever, like some sort of mental boost. Right. And yes, the guy pulling the strings should not be required to be some sort of, 10-time major winner.
You know who you get with Stu also?
What?
You get Ryder Sink.
Is that his kid?
Yeah.
Big boy. Yeah. There you go.
He was
some muscle.
The stories of the course management stuff he helped Stu with.
That's right. Further Ryder Cup cleanup.
I can't believe I'm shocked at the scale of this Ryder Cup.
It's crazy. People are interested. MC has apologized. We don't need to say any more. There's a Telegraph report that Europe was prepared to stop playing if the abuse directed at Rory and Erica McIlroy did not stop. I have no doubt that this impactful headline is technically true. But it's also, there's so much wiggle room there for, what do you mean prepared to stop playing? Like, I'm technically prepared to win $1 million tomorrow when I buy a lottery ticket. If I buy a ticket, I think they probably was discussed or thrown out there by someone at some point, like, we'll stop playing, which makes, a very clicky headline and report technically true. Do you think they were on the verge of stop playing?
I think, like, there's varying levels of the stop. Could they have gotten to a place where they're just like, you know what? We're going to take a pause.
We're done.
And we will restart this when you get your house in order here. Could I conceive that happening? Because, like, we saw it where, like, to a small degree, where Rory just literally, like, stopped on a. I think it was on a green.
Yeah,
where he just, like, was like, and it was a couple minutes. Could they have halted it for 20 minutes? Yeah, I think that is conceivable. Do I think they were just not going to show up on Sunday morning to play? No.
Yeah, it was probably the idea or theory of it was discussed at some point. I don't know. That went around like it was a thing that was going to happen. I think that does it for cleanup. The ratings were way down. Worst ratings. I think that was Sunday because everybody thought it was kind of a blowout.
Yeah. You saw it with, like, the sports personalities, like the greater sports personalities on Saturday were all like, this is over. They were all locked in on Saturday.
Right.
And then they were all, this is over. And then
NFL.
It became like this, like, crazy comeback. But I think it would have grabbed, if it was close going into Sunday, grabbed a lot more casuals.
Agree.
I mean, like if you look at the ratings, it was effectively like an extraordinary regular tournament, which is like tells me that like all the people really into golf watched it.
Yeah, Josh Carpenter had, based on his numbers, 12 Sundays in men's pro golf this year would rank higher than the final day of the Ryder Cup. That's majors, players get you there, some SIGgy events. So yeah, that's because it was just a blowout. But it certainly has penetrated the discourse for a long time now. Let's get off Ryder Cup. Dunhill, your leader, Bobby McIntyre, and the great Richard Sterney. He's on his way back. So you're going to see Dick Sterney at Peak Cup next year. Medina, Richard Sterney, the great South African. The kids don't know he was a problem. He co-leads 12 under with Robert McIntyre. Louis Oosthuizen won back there. Crazy weather on Friday in Scotland, old course. Nathan Kimsey went out in 28, made 9 birdies in a row at one point, shot 40. The weather turned, shot 40 on the back. So made 9 birdies in a row, shot a 68. Went out in 28, shot a 68. Nathan Kimsey. DJ, signs of life for DJ, shot a 64 in the opening round. He also then had a cold top, which was viral in the conditions, trying to hit a 3-wood off the deck, I believe, and had a cold top. But signs of life says he wants to play a dare. He wants to play the 27 Ryder Cup. He's ready to play a dare.
Maybe he could be a playing captain.
Maybe he could. He said, I went through about a year there where I just wasn't swinging it very well. I'm starting to hit it a lot of nice shots, though, again. So says he's on the way back. I'm into it.
Honestly, the U.S. team needs I
would love it.
Even a 90% DJ, 85% DJ. Is he unretired?
It seems like he's on the way back. But the Dunhill's been a fascinating coffee golf. I don't know why they have to do it the week after the Ryder Cup. You get old course, you get like proper links golf. They have no links golf through like May and June, and then a lot of the summer. And now we're just digging ourselves out of Ryder Cup. It could stand out at a different time of the year.
How about Matt Jordan?
Matt Jordan, the links master.
Blew the top off our models in round 1. Shot 9 under.
Yes.
And but he's coming back. He's falling back. He's 3 over today. He's coming back to old man par.
Oh, that's good. Watch that on the morning weekends before football starts. I have nothing on Sanderson. Kuchar made a hole in 1. Saw that. It's just a very I don't know.
He's got to be into it. It's baseball season. It's got to be giving him more life.
I opened the Sanderson, and Jason Duffner had one of those orange on fire rings around his score. And I was like, that's all I need to know about the Sanderson right now. News. LIV
How about
Golf?
Higo is just lighting it up, getting ready for Peak Cup. Are you ready to start the Peak Cup discourse?
I already said Richard Sterney co-leads. He's coming back. 2013, 12-year layoff. He's coming back. I'm ready for Peak Cup. I got Peak Cup gear from our friends at B. Dratty. 0 restriction this morning. Look at that. I got a Peak Cup. We're on to Peak Cup vest. Their stuff looks good. What's not good? Financial Times report from LIV Golf's UK entity lost $461 million in 24, $395 million in 2023, and $243 million in the 18 months to end of 2022, totaling over $1 billion in losses since its inception. The revenue last year, so they lost 461. The revenue was 65 million, according to this UK report. Seems bad. Seems not good.
I mean, they at least get those losses. They can use them. Maybe when everything turns, they can accrue those losses. Not tax expert, but I think you could use them eventually. Do you think it ever turns, though, is the question.
It doesn't feel like it. What was
like
the
if you had to guess today what 2025 looks like.
Well, they're increasing their losses by about 60 million a year now. Well, at least this year. What was the additional 65 million in losses from 23 to 24?
I'm guessing this year it clocks in at like 3, back down to 3.
3 even?
300.
That's what I mean. That would be a $161 million drop, Andy. That's not.
Well, I don't think they've spent as lavishly this year.
The shrimp cocktail, the carving station, out. All right.
That's insane.
Well, one way they could save money is they could use the promo code FRIDAY20 at bestdaybrewing.com to save on their Best Day Brewing. You get 20% off your first order at bestdaybrewing.com. It's all about the right usage of Best Day Brewing. That's our favorite NA beer. It's incredible. I have it stocked in the fridge. I saw it at a restaurant the other day. I ordered one right away. My friends, my personal friends and acquaintances are ordering this and sending me texts like this. You weren't lying about this.
My neighbor has been pillaging my fridge. Pillaging it.
That's not okay.
Just coming in hot. Took all the electro limes. That was my favorite one. He had never had it. And I was like, this one's really good. And now I come back from a week in New York. They're all gone.
He has access to your fridge like that?
He texts, can I come over and get a best day? And, comes over and gets one.
I don't know about that. Anytime during or after a round of golf, weekday beers, lunch beers, post activities like skiing, bike rides, runs, hikes, golf. Reward yourself with a beer or two. But still have to get stuff done or take a nap after a couple full strength beers. Clean out the garage, working on your car, whatever it is. Go to bestdaybrewing.com. Use the promo code FRIDAY20. FRIDAY20. You get 20% off. That excludes the subscription orders. Get you a better night's sleep. 2/3 less calories. Best Day Brewing. This has been a great one for us. They are the sponsor of Golf Advice. We're going to do a few golf advice here to take us into the weekend. Begin with Private Club A-Hole, a New Jersey situation. This is from
we get
Paul.
so many with a similar title.
Maybe don't use my surname. Paul, 39-year-old male, 2 kids, no interest in fighting, though I'm Irish. I've never been jammed by a big bag of drugs being posted to my house. Was attending a charity event.
Remember.
Totally
that was a setup.
Totally. Was attending.
And I've heard that we've mispronounced. I spoke with someone close to the situation last week. We mispronounced his name. It's Majimsi.
Majimsi. Okay. Total setup. Was attending a charity event at a lovely unnamed New Jersey private club recently, and made a request to play the course before the event, which was gratefully accepted for me and another unaccompanied guest. What? Can you do this? If you're playing a charity event, you just asked to play a practice round? Is that what I'm reading here? The hospitality was great, and the members and staff were very welcoming and friendly. Playing the fourth, an uphill 200-yard par 3, there was a group on the fifth tee box tucked about 20 to 25 yards short and right of the green. Of course,
it's bad tee box location.
Of course, I then hit a wipey fade. Ordinarily, I'd always shout 4 for etiquette purposes, but one player was about to hit, and my ball was never a danger to them. I also didn't want to needlessly put them off a tee shot, so I made a judgment call to stay quiet. The ball bounced a little right of the green and rolled across to finish 15 yards in front of the tee box and never sailed this close to them in the air. As we walked toward the green, I watched in awe and a little admiration as one of the group in front of picked up my ball and pocketed it. Let's call him the situation, given we're in Jersey and his flaunting of club rules with a very snug shorts and T-shirt. I told my caddy the situation picked up my ball. Like the situation from Jersey Shore. Picked up my ball and no, she need dismissed. As we reached the tightly mown area where my ball finished, I reiterated this point to my caddy. My caddy shouted to the group ahead, now 75 yards away, if they'd seen a ball, to which the situation screamed back something akin to, yeah, right where you are now. He continued on his merry way to heavy rough, where I saw him cut a very frustrated figure. Perhaps my ball was collateral damage from his wayward drive. Instead of making an issue of it, I dropped the ball and completed a wonderful day without further incident. I'm also not someone who would be described as big off the bus. However, after the round, the situation was sipping wine on the veranda, and it took all my restraint not to bring up the missing ball a la Larry David for fear of being escorted off property before the charity event. Question, was I an a-hole for not shouting 4? And was the situation within his rights to steal my ball? Or was I okay not to shout forward and should have made an issue of the stolen ball, despite being an unaccompanied guest at a private club? Also, I was wearing a fried egg hat, so perhaps he correctly assumed I had no interest in fighting and took advantage.
I would say the 4. I think he made the right call with the 4 call.
He had it dialed that it wasn't going to actually. Yeah.
Guy, if you got good handle of where the ball's going to go, you're going to know that situation. I will say it sounds like a horribly conceived tee location.
It's a good New Jersey course.
Yeah, like 210-yard par 3. There's going to be a lot of white pea fades short right. And to have this thing 20 yards short right, that's a disaster.
Yeah.
That should be a design disaster. As for the stolen ball, you cannot do anything. You're an unaccompanied guest.
You're not causing a fracas or a scene.
Your job as an unaccompanied guest is just to carry on and not cause any issues.
Keep your head down and get the hell out of there. Yeah. Yeah, good
that is
call.
your job.
It is an interesting one where the guy's over the tee shot. Do you yell for? Do you wait until they hit so as to avoid this entirely?
I don't know. I think that's the thing. I think that if you had to redo this, you just don't hit until they're off the tee box.
Let them hit.
But maybe this shot just was not even in your purview.
Yeah. All right. Next one. This is one where we need to serve as consumer protection here. Dynamic green fees on a resort guest. 42, no interest in fighting. I recently went on a golf trip to Northeast Canada Golf Resort. We had 9 guys in our group staying on property for 4 nights. Important, staying on property. With half of us playing 4 rounds and half playing 6 rounds. We booked our September 2025 trip in September 2024, 12 months early. Overall, our experience was fantastic. Great golf, great caddies, great food. When we checked out, several guys on the trip asked me what the green fees should be for each round. I said $435 Canadian. They informed me that they had green fees in the amounts of $435, $495, and or $595 on their bill. After our last round, I had to go back to the registration desk and ask about our higher greens fees. I was told that they use dynamic pricing for their green fees. I went off as we booked 12 months early and were probably some of the first tee times booked on the days we played. I eventually spoke with the GM and they fixed everyone's bills, but I did give my opinion on dynamic greens fees and said that it was a money grab and complete BS. I said if a certain resort doesn't do this, then no one should, as we were there the year before. Was I out of line on this? I can maybe get on board with dynamic pricing for non-resort guests, but as a resort, we are paying a certain amount each day for lodging and golf, but then to try and get another $60 to $160 on me because your tee sheet is full is absolutely absurd. Am I out of line on this to fight against it?
I mean, I don't think you're out of line. I think the dynamic pricing is kind of bogus, though.
Yeah, you fight it. I mean, you booked it 12 months, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and you're staying on property.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you can't have this. We can't have there's an agreement between the consumer and the producer here, and you can't pull the rug out from under them if you booked it 12 months ago and they're paying stay on property. You can't add a $60 charge here because the tee sheet's full and we could charge more. You can't do that. So we are sticking up in golf advice to say resorts do not try this nonsense. I can't believe that's even a thing.
Well, like the dynamic pricing has to be at the start when you book it.
Right.
It's not like I buy a concert ticket and when I get there, they're like, you know what? The show is sold out, so you owe an extra $80. I was like, well, I bought the ticket. This is preposterous.
We're getting out there. Please don't start doing this. I know golf is very popular and monetizable right now, but no, we can't have this. Last one, Best Day Brewing golf advice. Poker chip proliferation. This is not, I believe, Scott Scheffler. No. It's from George. 28, no kids, no interest in fighting. I've been playing competitive amateur golf for a while now. However, I'm actually gainfully employed and work 40-hour weeks, so I don't bother competing against others in the big amateur events. Much like Brennan, I have irrational dislikes, rotisserie chicken, fun, etc. I like fun. Get out of here. Near the top of my list is poker chips as markers. I'm 28, and I feel like my golfing life has unfortunately coincided with the inexplicable rise of their use. I have several gripes. One, they're larger in diameter than the ball itself. Therefore, when the edge is massive, as they always are, it would actually be better and less intrusive to mark the ball with another golf ball. This cracks me up.
Great point.
That cracked me up. When you're putting from long distance with break and the poker chip is near the hole on your line, you'd have to get the guy to move it like 3 putter heads to be safe. I often ask my opponent not to move his saucepan at all, but instead give him my small coin and ask him to replace his marker with it, which is sometimes met with a blank stare. And 3, they look ridiculous. I've been debating internally whether the next time I have the honor of seeing my opponent plop one down on the first green at an interclub match, I pull out my own poker chip, double or triple the size of a normal poker chip. I love this.
Custom-made poker chip.
I'm a Kiwi currently living and playing my golf in Netherlands. I feel like these notoriously serious Dutchies might be so confused and rattled by this weird New Zealander with a 5-inch wide and 1-inch high marker. I could gain back the competitive advantage I lose by being annoyed the chip in the first place. My question is, should I do this? Yes, I think you should, just for our entertainment and content's sake. Make some custom gigantic poker chip.
Listen.
We got to get rid of
I want this to be a PSA. If you're using a giant mark, I am a huge fan of the big mark. And why I like the big mark is that if I use a small mark and I'm like 40 feet away or 50 feet away and I go to read the putt, I have this trick. I don't want anybody to think that I'm reading putts from both sides. And even when we have caddies in the group, I pull every flag. Because it's part of the way I read a putt. I walk to the other side.
Yeah.
And I grab the flag and I look at the putt from the other side. But I don't want anybody to know. So I grab the flag and then people just think, oh, he's just grabbing the flag.
Guy.
He's not reading the putt from over there.
Yeah.
He's not slow. But anyways, when I get over there, if I use a small mark, I can't see it a lot of times. So sometimes I put a tee down, but that's where I like the big mark. Now, the key here is you have to have a small mark for when you get close to the hole. You have to have 2 marks here.
You have 2 marks in your pocket.
Yeah, you can use the big mark. Poker chips are fine. I do think poker chips are like 10 years past their time.
They look dopey.
They do. I feel like poker chips were popular when Phil Humuth and
Phil Ivey.
Phil Ivey were duking it out in the World Series on
Chris
ESPN.
Moneymaker. Yeah.
And we've moved past poker chips, but the point is there are big marks, and big marks are great. But if you're using a big mark, you need to have a small mark too, and use the small mark when you get within 20 feet of the hole.
Okay.
That's just a general rule. This is etiquette 101.
SGS Golf Advice. There you go. 2 marks. You have your tees timed up in your pocket, so you end up with 0, but you carry multiple marks. I like that. All right. I think that does it. We got a call. We're 3 minutes late for here on Friday afternoon, so we're going to wrap it up with Best Day Brewing Golf Advice on that one.
Here.
Thank you for your continued support. Appreciate it. We will be back with you on Monday to talk about. I think we're done with Don. Till year in review. We're not going to talk about that anymore.
But at least you've been warned.
PJ doesn't want to let it go. PJ's can't.
But all I know is golf is the engine of good.
Talk to you on Monday.